You don't know that yet.
It's very likely, though. I think I'll need this one. Maybe this one. I hear my computer fan, but there's no voice meter to go wrong this time. As we begin another session of Rescue at Raxis. I'm now attempting this web voice meter, getting the audio straight through OBS. Don't know if it's balanced or not, so please chip in the chat if there's an issue. Last time, it was awkward. It was very awkward. It's always embarrassing when you meet your ex and they're doing so much better than they were the last time you saw them. The group plundered into the desiccated and ruined area. A place worn down with great age, with great effort by the undead. They were stymied by, I thought, a simple puzzle. And found a hidden lab, in which was a figure. So malformed, so twisted, but still recognizable to one of the party. They also had another brief encounter with a small porcelain doll head. And we rejoined them. They are still in his office. There is still the thought of what to do next. They have a name, they have a place. They already have a job, but they've also got these on top of it. Like some sort of subsequent quest. So, you are still in this freezing cold office. There is the figure of Prenders sitting back at his desk. Finger detached, the rest barely holding together. In his vault was his book, locked tight by several large, heavy padlocks. Boots encrusted with mud, and a potion that kingdoms would kill over. And a pendant that was pocketed by rain. There is no noise but your own breathing and the rasping weirdness coming out of him. What do you do?
Well, I say it's time for us to get out of here, and we can discuss the rest of it once we're out.
Sounds like a plan to me. And I believe you have some explaining to do.
We can do that once we're out of here.
Agreed.
Is he likely to get more skeletons?
I rather doubt that, looking with that.
As she gestures at the undead-looking horror, the abomination of unlife.
He's not exactly really driven right now.
Indeed, his focus is entirely on rain.
Wrong kind of drive.
Speaking of, I believe you won't be needing this. And I take the potion that you left on the table.
The creature does not
Fair
even
enough.
react.
Siegfried's going to head for the portal.
I am quickly heading to the portal.
Is he likely to follow?
Oh, by the way, were the boots left in the safe?
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't think we took them out, so probably.
okay, then. Screw it. Not gonna bother opening it again.
I mean, you have the code standing right there.
Siegfried runs over. Zazel runs over. He punches a few buttons. Grabs the boots.
They punch back, roll initiative.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, would that be a dex check for dodge?
No, you pop it open, yeah.
Carefully pull out the boots and give them a quick examine.
They look like incredibly worn out leather. There's big cracks in the surface. There's also clumps of mud still caked on them. But as you get them out and you give them a jostle and all, none of it's coming off. They're heavy, thick leather buckled boots.
Do they have any designs on them, or are they just plain workman type boots?
They look like plain boots. Big, hefty, heavy-duty ones. The kind one might use when robbing a graveyard.
Ah.
Or walking up a hill, you know, other such things. Hiking.
Do any of these boots of any interest, or should I just put them back?
I mean, once we get out, I could check and see if there's something interesting about them.
I use my invocation to just cast Detect Magic and let's see if they're magic boots.
Alright, as you cast Detect Magic, the boots are indeed magical. Let's
The
see.
boots are magical,
Is
so
there-
we should probably take them with us.
Hang on, I'm also thinking here what else would light up magical. And
Probably
there-
the cloak the guy's wearing.
No, actually, that's not magical, but the quill is on his,
Oh,
on his desk. And, quite obviously, the book with the heavy brass bands and locks on it.
Is the quill next to him?
Yeah, it's right by his hand.
I try to quickly snatch it up.
You do so.
Are the locks on the book themselves magical, or is it just the?
the book itself, I guess.
The Castalia, the whole thing is glowing.
Probably be wise to find the right key then. I close back up the safe, taking the boots with me, and leaving the book behind.
Alrighty, and you're all heading out?
Yep, all heading out.
Remember, those who go to the blue one will be winding up wet?
And I'm going the demon route.
What a difference a week makes on memory. Siegfried, you splash alone. Let's see.
Does he catch hypothermia?
Does our stuff come back with us when we teleport? Because we aren't holding them.
Yeah, on return, you are all with your stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, I make sure I take the sword with me, so we go way in.
Also, I need
Next
to
time.
change a setting here. Oh, where's the basic?
I hope there's nothing that's risen up between here and Siegfried.
He does pass by a rat.
A very confused rat. And his writer's response is, "How's that rat still there?"
It lasts for an hour.
Oh yeah, it does last for an hour.
Oh, never mind then. I thought it lasted for 10.
Also, for arriving late,
you
you
are.
too, like Siegfried, are marked.
Well, he doesn't know anything. He's not hearing what you say yet.
What's up? It's your boy, Otho Reaper. Yeah, what's up, people?
Get out. Anyway, back to the people I
I-
care about.
I pick up the rat and give it back to Melg. After it.
I heard
probably
my
still-
name. What's going on?
There we go. Zarzul is offering you the rat.
Sure. I just take it kind of questioningly.
The
It's your
rat
rat.
also looks like it has questions.
Yeah. Is the rat melting?
No, the rat's perfectly fine.
Okay, I take the rat and I start petting the rat.
Although, as you're all walking out, Castalia, give me a wisdom save.
Oh no.
Of course. We didn't actually deal with the problem.
Yeah,
Not
all
yet,
those
no.
heads are still chattering whispers. Forbidden,
let's see.
twisted
This is wisdom?
creatures.
Hey, straight 10.
Castalia, as you step along, you look to your party members and you can see there's fur falling from the back of Wolfgang. There's a large clump of scales just sloughing off of Zarzul. Cornelius turns round for a moment and you just see his face slowly start to cave in as if his skull has become soft. And he just continues to stand that way. All of them are standing there around you, rotting, falling apart. Except for Siegfried. Siegfried is actually still moving and looks perfectly normal. Except for the eyes. The eyes are just gone. And then you're back in the room and realize they've all walked on a little bit ahead of you. They look fine.
Hey, these stairs again.
Certainly shaky.
You never saw that.
Yeah, you do feel...
I definitely hold my hand on my whip a little tighter.
Yeah, for the first time since you grabbed the whip and the dancer's armor, you do feel a chill up your spine. Something was in your head for a moment.
And it wasn't your usual demonic possession.
Yes, it was not the normal voice. So, marching order for the stairway, and Siegfried, as you put your feet on it, you look back and you can only see Zarzul and Wolfgang. You can't see any further. The darkness is enveloped again.
Oh, joy. Normal things.
I'll take up the rear.
I've heard that about you.
You walked right into that.
Yep. I
Alright,
ain't even mad.
We've got Ray at the back.
Say, Castalia, do you mind if we trade places?
Not at all.
Remember, it is wide enough for it to be two astride. You don't have to go in single file.
And this might be sounding a bit awkward, but do you mind holding my hand as we go up the stairs?
And we have to go single file to hide our numbers.
You have to work on your lines a bit, but yes.
Thank you.
Cornelius finally touches a girl.
After only 50 years.
You feel
be
the
fair-
magical essence begin to drain.
Women, weaken
Zing.
wizards, we know this. Alright, so you've got yourselves arranged how you want to go. Siegfried at the front.
Yeah, he just wants to get out.
Well, what he wants and what he gets will be different. As you start walking up the stairs, they feel a lot steeper. They feel a lot colder as well. And each footstep sounds like it is an iron-shod soul against solid stone. It is echoing. It is reverberating. And Zarzul, you notice it very quickly. There's a figure walking right beside Siegfried. It's indistinct. It's barely any lighter than the darkness, completely consuming you all.
Hello, friend.
Siegfried, you hear a little voice from behind. But the figure itself makes no reaction. It also just seems to glide upwards, instead of taking proper steps. Further and further you all go up. Eventually the footsteps vanish. You don't know when they stopped, but it just seems to be replaced with the beating of a heart in your own chest. You can hear it pounding against your eardrums. You keep going up higher and higher. As you look forward, you just see the steps in front of you. That is it. I mean, there's the walls to the side. And then there isn't. Siegfried, it's up to you if you stop or not, but as you take a step forward, where the scratching was at its most potent, you now see that there is no wall. You can see so many lines, though. So many carved grooves in the stonework.
Nope, keep going.
And Zarzul, as you take a step up, you can see them. In both holes, there is rank upon rank of long-limbed humanoid figures. They have no features. on the face, on the body, but the limbs are long. The hands are clawed. And there must be, from what you can gather, at least 50 on either side just watching.
Interesting.
As you
Some
say that,
strange
the heads
vision.
turn to you.
Let's just keep moving.
As you walk, you
We
notice
shall deal
that.
with this later.
Do you look back at them?
I probably would, yes.
You notice that as each of the party passes, they change their focus onto them. And then after rain passes, you can still see them. They shimmer just that little bit brighter in the darkness. And they're following. 2 ranks.
Interesting.
From what you guess of their positions, they're only 5 feet away from rain. The rest of you, you hear nothing. You see just the people in front of you and behind. But Rain, you know you're being watched. It's that indescribable feeling of paranoia.
Well, I'm not.
You cut out for a second there? Oh.
Right.
Oh, for fuck's
Oh.
sake.
What?
Did the cat
Hey.
pull the cord?
Oh.
Oh.
Restart.
Wow.
This is why you keep a sharp rain on your windows.
You could turn the mic on your own computer.
Effort.
Today's just been a bad day.
Well, at least this was just a computer restart. I'm
Yeah.
guessing maybe it's a weird Windows update.
But you all continue to march up the stairs. As you pass,
Are
well,
we back on?
you're back on.
Hey.
There we go. But no, my character's already paranoid, so she's just assuming
Yeah,
that that's
this just feels natural. As you keep walking higher, it seems the steps are even getting steeper now. There's a turn as well. It's very slight. It's only really Malgern that notices the variances in the rock. But you just keep going up. And it happens really all at once. Siegfried, you are practically blinded as you walk into a sunset-stretched kitchen. You're in the tavern. The rest behind you likewise are almost blinded by the sensation. You didn't see the entrance. Or the exit. You didn't see daylight. But you were back out. And you're all
Well,
back in the ruined pub.
Well, thank goodness.
so who was for burning down this tavern and never going back down again?
We only have to
we
go back
find the
down.
key.
I mean, we left a book there. I don't know why we left the book there. It seems incredibly stupid to leave the book there, but we left the book there.
Well, you should have said something, you know?
I did. I said Sophie last time. I'm like, why are we not taking the book?
You can go back down and get it.
I'm really half tempted to.
All right, I volunteer Castalia to go back down and get the book.
I think the unspecified part of that statement was by herself.
Yeah. I'm gonna be behind the bar, finishing off what's left of the liquor that I couldn't carry with me.
You pop the cork on one, you find there's a fucking twig growing in it.
Son of a bitch.
You also
Well,
notice
I
that
hate-
there's not a whole lot of light filtering in through the windows, but there's a lot of branches.
Well, it's always been that way.
There's a lot of growth.
Has it, though? Has it?
Cornelius, you notice, as you casually glancing around the room, that the window here that you were doing a little flinging match with magic, it's now blocking the stairs. It's got a huge lump of tree growing through it.
Oh, I think we're going to have to start to leave. There's fresh growth around.
Well, then let's make sure we do that post haste.
All right.
Are we going to be able to get in to get the book, come back for the book then? Or is this going to get overgrown before we can actually do anything?
I think we'll be fine. We'll be able to get back through.
Oh, no, Siegfried.
All right,
back
so
up.
Ray and Castalia. Yeah, got it.
No, back up. As the two of you try to push the doors, there is very little movement. You peer through what slots there are and what cuts have been made from the attacks. You can see a hell of a lot of dried, gnarled wood grown up around the doors. Then you notice, and you pay a bit more attention to the wooden frame, and then you see there's chunks of unpleasant growth. There's spindly, withered little branches and brambles growing on the inside of the door, as if it's seamless with the actual wood. Yeah, with the actual wood of what's filling the hole.
Right, what's the window look like?
Full of tree. Oh, this one? This one is less full of tree. There's a couple of branches snaking around the corner of it, but it hasn't been filled in fully.
Is it big enough that I can get out?
You'd have to do a little bit of hacking.
So, Cornelius, how's your spell shaping?
Actually, I have a more interesting idea. Say, Castalia,
Yes.
would you mind trying to see what your whip will do against this kind of wood?
I really snap the whip between my two hands.
You still-
Absolutely.
You gotta keep working on those lines, Cornelius. As he asks a woman what her whip can do to wood.
Surprise.
So you give it a lash,
Yes.
a sodden one at that. It rips it apart. Part of the window frame also comes apart, just like it was made of, like it was dried out, like it had nothing to it.
Thank you. Actually, what did he burst out? Was the window or the door?
The door.
Okay. Otherwise,
We're
it would be a bit
We're
awkward.
not climbing through the window.
Meanwhile, Siegfried is halfway through it.
Yeah.
He's doing that like inch-long sawing motion with his short sword against one of the branches. And the door is open. You're free, and as you walk out, Cornelius, you can see that there's a lot more forest now. It was behind the inn, but now it has come round to the sides. There's a little bit in front of it. And then you look across in the dying light to the wagon. And you can see that there is a goblin furiously swinging a glowing axe on a branch that has fused with the back of the wagon.
Hmm. Well, I'm glad he's defending the wagon.
He's not making much progress.
I'm curious as to where he's gotten a glowing axe.
I also have questions.
And I think we should go and help him so that we don't lose the wagon.
Yeah.
Yes,
Hang
let's go
on,
do
Drew.
that immediately.
And all its passengers with him.
I mean, I'm gonna
Particularly
let
Puffles
Cornelius deal with the goblin and the flaming axe.
It's not flaming, it's just glowing.
Whatever. The point is, I don't trust Drew. I don't trust Drew farther than I can throw him, and I can throw a goblin pretty far. Sure.
Castalia, we're gonna need your whip.
Of course, of course.
You know,
Save
some
some
people
for the
pay for that
honeymoon,
service.
dude.
How quickly he falls into the rest of the decadent lifestyle of the sense. Yeah, he has made maybe a few inches worth, but there's a lot of various cuts from his complete lack of accuracy. There is sweat pouring from him.
Okay, Drew. Okay, calm down. You can stop now. Okay, we're here. You did a good job.
1 minute, it was there. As he points to the tree line, which has moved forward quite close, and then it was here. And look. And he shows that the grey, horrible, withered tree color has actually spread along part of the back of the wagon's frame.
Where's Pufflesworth?
In the wagon, you can hear some very weird little cooing snores echoing through the shell.
I immediately crawl in and call Pufflesworth.
That's going to take a dexterity check.
Okay.
I give
No.
Droop a hearty pat on
Oh.
the back. You did good.
I assume I was not at disadvantage.
For now, you
Or
were. No,
were you? Bum bum bum.
No, you managed to sliver in. You avoid bashing your shoulders or getting caught up, and you can see the very fluffed up, snoozing Pufflesworth.
Pufflesworth!
The huge eyes slowly blink open, encrusted with mucus.
Ew.
Well, they're sleeping. Droop gives a very shaky thumbs up to Castalia. This is really weird. I lived in a forest. I never saw this before.
It's wizardry gone foul.
Do we set fire to the inn now or later?
Later, once we get the book.
And Castalia once again goes off to do a job.
I guess I will go back and get the book.
No, we will go get the book after we get the thingy.
Then why don't we just have the book with us when we go and get the thingy?
No, we'll come back.
Why exactly?
I just think it's the smart thing to do, okay?
No, it's
Why?
not.
What?
I'm using my clerical knowledge.
This party, smart. Pick one.
I'm using my clerical knowledge.
We have given you the benefit of doubt because down there was something that made us want to kill each other or go insane. This presence is not here now. We want an explanation as to why you are hesitant.
Well, I just think that who knows, maybe if we bring something that might be important that we keep him around until we figure out what the heck he was doing.
How did you know the password for the safe?
Well, that's pretty obvious.
Even
I
the
want her
kobold
to
figured
say
it out.
it.
Oh, of course.
I knew him in college.
And I'm laughing in character as well.
I did!
Knew him.
Yeah, I bet you knew him.
Yes, there were 3 of us, as a matter of fact. We did some work together.
I
One
just start
time?
making, those hand motions, looking at Siegfried, like,
Not
yeah, she
that
knew him all
way.
right.
You did work. Who was he?
I lean over to Droop. Yeah, she did work all right.
It's a long story, but
I heard it wasn't that long.
basically, the long and short of it was I was the book runner. Because, for instance, Cornelius, you remember when we were talking with Drew and how we were mentioning how I used to do some book work and library things?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's what I did in college.
Mm-hmm.
It was relatively intimate knowledge for being just a book runner.
Well, we may or may not have stayed in the same house for a little bit, but that's beside the point. And I may or may not,
thickens!
and I may or may not had to have snuck some of the books out because they weren't supposed to leave the library in the first place.
Who was he?
What was the full name? Because it was Prenders, but what's the last name?
Prenders Vulgus. So, Here we go.
Does that say Cornelius anything?
Give me an intelligence check. So I don't know if you came from the same city, really.
Well, I do recall, actually, we came from the Waterdeep area.
Yeah. Well, with a roll that high? Yeah, you heard about this. It was a pretty big scandal. How many years ago, Rain?
What was it? Almost... Oh, hell. How long have I been doing this? Let me pull that up.
It was... as usual. I mean, it wasn't atypical for a scandal. It was a wizard delving into knowledge that he should not, practicing things he should not actively, and costing the lives of an assistant. I mean, by the time it got to you, a few of the names have been missing, but Prender's was still one that was hanging around, and yeah, research was burned, lab was raided, things were
Probably
put
so.
aflame.
Maybe 10 years. Maybe 10 years.
Yeah. So you were learning. So you heard about this while you were a student. Well, you
I
yourself
just
were learning how to put things to flame.
I'm just looking wide-eyed. Just going... You... And then just leave.
Oh, hell. So I start following after him, going, oh, hold on, what did you hear?
You are never to help Droop again.
No, that was something different. I didn't do wizard things then. That was a different...
I don't care. You stay away.
What did you hear?
Are we noticing any of this?
We're not probably
It's
not
kinda
standing off.
Yeah, you're all watching
I'm
Mom
gonna
and Dad.
butt in. Yeah, what don't we know?
Yeah, you're all seeing
Hold on,
Mom and Dad
let me
fight.
find out what he... Let
Yeah.
me find out what he knows, and then I can say how wrong it was.
Then why aren't we bringing the book so we can find it out immediately? Get there.
I mean, I'm gonna motion to Castelia. She's got a point.
I really hope she's just leaning on the bar right now and she just says this time and again like she's tired. Why don't we have the
What?
book?
Let's go get the damn book. Apparently, shit's gone to hell, and the elf is a liar.
I'm not a liar.
Cornelius, what you know is kind of rough by the time you got up to you. It's that he was once again one of the many wizards who were trying to defeat death itself through a different path than lichdom, for example. But it did not work, and it should not have been done.
What he did was unethical.
Well, yeah, I figured that out.
And you have been doing nothing but trying to cover up everything about this man.
No, I haven't.
Are you looking at the ground and just kicking the dirt right now?
No, I am actually looking at him straight in the face. No, I haven't.
You're a shitty liar.
We're getting the book.
And I kind of just do a little face palm and I go,
I need-
okay.
It's just about to go down the stairs. I need someone with night vision.
Well, in that case, I go to follow
and
him.
offer to go down because
I
So
move ahead of Rain, being faster, and I shove her out of the way. No, you've done enough.
No, I'm going down. If y'all are going down,
You've
I'm
clearly
going
done
down.
enough. And seeing as I am faster than you, I can do this.
No, I'm going
Zarzul?
down too then.
While they're arguing about who goes down first, you look down, and you can see them. Rank upon rank upon rank of these thin, long-limbed, clawed humanoid creatures.
I stare them down and proceed down the stairs. How bad an idea is staring down an undead, by the way?
Depends if they stare back. It's kind of like the abyss. If it ain't looking, it's fine.
Hang on a second. I may need this sheet now.
Oh, no.
Oh hell. I'll point out that I said that we shouldn't go back down.
Yes,
You were
we're
also
doing...
the one and I will repeat this and quote it, to put it back in the safe to get it later.
Yeah, I feel like she's in on something.
Yes. This is the part where things go wrong due to role play.
Oh. I've just got this look on my face like, God damn it, I hate all of you right now. I hate every single one of you except for Siegfried. He's kind of cool. He's a fun drinking buddy.
Siegfried's
The
not
rest of
going
you
down.
just suck.
Incidentally, there are, Siegfried, if you're looking for things to do while they all go down, there are
Kick
there are
around
still some
somewhere.
locked boxes. But yeah, Zarzul, as you start walking down, you feel horribly cold. You're walking through them, they're
Got
not
fucking
stopping
beer
you.
there.
Hmm?
I nearly choked on fucking beer when you mentioned the fucking lockbox.
How many more needles could it have, really? You've already lost color, what else could follow? But yeah, Zarzul, as you're walking down, you get to about 4 of them, you've lost feeling in your hands and feet. Your teeth are chattering. But you're able to just walk through them, and they don't seem to react.
Onward. We shall deal with these somehow. They're not undead, but they're...
As you keep walking, you just see more of them.
Are we following Sassul at this moment?
Are you?
He
Yes.
just got off it without saying a word.
So who's all following? Cornelius, Rain, Malgern, Castalia?
I said I would.
Yeah. I'm
I'm
not
seeing
letting
through
Rain
my-
leave my sight right now.
I'm seeing through my constant. What's the word I'm looking for?
Your constant magic detection?
No, it's my constant repeating that we should just get the book.
Ring.
You mustn't read from the book! Wrong movie, sorry.
It's actually just full of basket weaving techniques. It's amazing. But yeah, as you guys start marching down, you notice that Wolfgang looks very displeased. He's shivering as well, furs on end. And the rest of you, apart from Castalia, start to feel very cold. You start to feel as if a little bit of the core of you is just getting slowly squeezed. It doesn't hurt, but it's feeling horrible. It's like you're just sinking deeper and deeper into icy cold water. Castalia, you're fine, but now and again there are flecks of frosted... Well, correction, just frost coming off you. Some of the water that constantly flows across your skin is just solidifying and just flaking away. And as you keep going, eventually it stops. You feel horrendous. In fact, I'm going to need con saves. Also, I forgot. A few of you are at disadvantage because a couple of you were exhausted last time.
Yep,
Oh yeah.
and it is on ability checks.
Yep. Not saves, however.
Oh, not saved.
Not
Okay.
saves.
Ah.
Actually, Castalia, you don't have to do one.
Oh,
But I'm going to need one from Wolfgang as well.
It's just a little chill. It won't hurt anyone. You need to get yourself some winter coats, like I did.
That is a second rank of exhaustion for Wolf. Well, first one for Wolfgang, but a second for Rain.
Oh hell.
As after you get through this mass of indistinct forms that only Zarzul can see, there's a moment where you fall to your knees and you're desperately trying to get some feeling back in you. Everything feels like it's seized up and it's not responding to your brain. In a moment or two it passes, but you feel horrible. You imagine this might be what Siegfried feels like at his best. It feels like you could die at any moment. You feel fragile.
Oh, Siegfried's got to start the fire in the fireplace.
Easy enough. You've got no magic tricks to do it, but it's simple enough to do. You're experienced.
Plenty
And there's enough wooden tables around to use.
Yep. I mean, if you depends what wood you reach for, really.
For a few of the broken chairs and whatnot.
Yeah. But yeah, then you all continue down your path down the stairs. Again, that silence hits you all. Even the chattering of Rain's teeth and the whimpering from Wolfgang is just muffled out. And then you're back into the midst of the whispers.
Yeah, let's quickly get into that room.
Right. Whoever has the sword, take it.
I take the sword.
Get out.
Yeah.
I will say, as you're running along, Castalia looks quite impressive right now. It's just flakes of frost are spewing out from behind her. It's like she has a sparkling trail.
If you want to build a snowman.
I, however, go and I grab the staff and I go to the angel portal and I go to hop in.
You arrive in the room with all your gear.
I guesstimated that's how that worked.
Oh, actually, Raider, roll me a d20 minus 3.
Well, fuck.
The rat also has a level of exhaustion.
No!
It is near death.
No!
I give it something for my flask. See if that helps. That's all I got. I ain't got water.
Now it's a drunk rat.
It's pretty drunk. It's also
At least he's happy.
its liver is also probably being dissolved. I don't think alcohol agrees with rodents, but you know, it
I literally
feels
just
maybe
gave it
better.
Straight ethanol alcohol.
Yeah, it feels maybe better. So you're now in the office, in the lab.
So I sigh and I go to open the thing.
His gaze is following you the whole time.
As expected.
Mm-hmm.
I just look at him and go, man, you can pick him.
It's getting personal now. And as you open it up, his gaze goes from you to his book. And he
This is
slowly
gonna be
starts to
fun.
get up.
Who wants to take the book?
Zazzle will grab the book and head out.
There's
I
another
light my mace.
scream from him. Let's see, where did I put that on?
I knew this was gonna happen.
He doesn't
Put
like
it
people
back.
touching. He doesn't like people touching his books. Let's see. Well, it's not much damage. I'll need wisdom saves. Not from Siegfried, you do find a couple more bottles. They're sort of halfway empty.
I am done with this shit.
Yeah, you just close your ears for when you drag some moss off from your horn and put it into your ear. Sick of his shit. Gonna need room from Wolfgang as well. And Cornelius.
What? I didn't go to the office.
Oh, then I need a wisdom save from you normally. Because you're standing around the whispers.
It's
But
fine.
you shrug it off. Yeah, Wolfgang falls down stunned for a moment. Easily roused, but he has a second level of exhaustion now. But yeah, you all bolt out.
Oh no, we don't.
No?
Well, if we're gonna go burn it down, we're not coming back. So I got some unfinished business to do.
Okay, I assume that Castalia, Zarzul, and Wolfgang are getting the fuck out of there.
Yeah.
Well, while they're exiting, I proceed to try to smack him with my mace.
Oh!
my god, no!
Are you really gonna do that?
You're gonna
Yep.
smack Prenders with your mace, huh?
Yes, I am.
Hang on a second, let me just bring this token over.
Oh my gosh.
Shit just got real.
Now,
Well, y'all ain't gonna come back.
Now, keep in mind, all you guys are at the place where you're deposited. So,
Probably
did
would have done it while some of them are exiting.
you...
So they would know.
You know what? Yeah, go right ahead.
Trying to implicate
right
more
ahead.
people, I see. So, who is going to be in the room? Who's volunteering to be with Rain in the room when she hits this guy with her mace?
Well, where was I?
You were trying to stay close to her, I thought.
Yeah, no. I don't trust her, so I would probably be, yeah.
There we go,
I
then.
don't trust. I already didn't trust her, and now shit's getting real, so yeah, I would.
I'm with
Castelli,
your mom at the supermarket, so I'm over by the teleporter range.
I volunteer as tribute. That makes sense.
Castelli, which teleport...
You could technically react and try and block her from hitting him.
Oh, yes. Can I impose disadvantage?
You could outright... You could try to grapple her.
Yeah. Let's. You know what? Let's go.
You could
Let's
bodily grab her.
Let's fucking go. Would that be athletics?
That'd be athletics for you. That's athletics or acrobatics for Rain.
Damn it, not as high as I'd like.
Are you inspired? Do you have
Athletics.
inspiration?
I do not. Otherwise, I would totally burn it.
You didn't need it.
Hey! Yeah.
Wait, no, I was supposed to do acrobatics, wasn't I?
You're actually at disadvantage
Like,
anyway, so you can't beat that.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, well, suppose, yeah, acrobatics if you want. You do have a higher modifier, but it will be a disadvantage.
Nope.
You see her raise it up, and you just think, fuck, no, enough.
No. Yeah.
Enough of this
I
shit.
immediately just put myself in the way, and I'm looking straight at her as I stop the mace. What the fuck are you doing?
What
This
the
is
fuck
how
do
you
you
hit
think
them.
I'm doing?
It's a little weird, too, because he's grabbing your arm. He's got you there, but then there's also
I'm
Prenders,
down
who is
here.
staring right at you, right beside you. Castelia, are you in the room?
I said I was waiting by the teleporter like an angry mom, so yeah.
Okay. You can choose
Oh,
which color
man.
teleporter to be standing by.
I'm by the color I want to be.
So, you're in a room. Prenders is there, whatever he is. Rain, your arm is being held by a very pissed off dwarf for very justifiable reasons. Dwarf, you're holding this fucking half-elf idiot's arm.
No, I don't even acknowledge that she's a half elf. It's a fucking elf, and it's pissing me off.
Castelia. God damn it, why? You're just watching this.
Computer, what's happening?
Zarzul, you are 1 foot away from exiting with the book.
Oh, he was so close.
Castalia, let's go.
Cornelius? Hang on,
No.
Cornelius? You are
Yeah.
surrounded by the whispers, and Siegfried? Yeah, this is 4-year-old wine. This is not bad. It's had time to breathe. This is, yeah.
Well, first things first, I'm going to walk over, give Bridier a bit of bardic inspiration, then take Grain by the ear like a petulant child and drag her to the teleporter.
I am going to be kicking and screaming the whole way. I'm mentioning.
Are you going to actively resist or just be a pain about it?
Oh no, I'm actively trying to get out of the ear grasp.
Alright. So this is going to be fun because it'll be athletics for Castalia at disadvantage and acrobatics for Rain at disadvantage.
Oh, yes. Let the throwdown commence.
Well, Gurn, I'm going to need assistance on this. Yep.
So would I just athletics that, or?
Yeah, you can be the driving force if you want. You're the only one with a straight roll for this stuff.
Yeah, I will totally. I will more than happily help because I
But
am
you,
100%
you make it look
tired
as
of
if
this
Castalia is holding more of Rain. You know, you're being generous here. You've got her by the scruff, but you're letting it...
Win. It's just. I'm letting the lady win, but I'm helping.
Now and again, her stubby ear gets out of your grip, but you're thinking if I pull hard enough, I can make her a full elf and just get really pissed at her.
Oh yeah, I would like nothing more.
Zarzul, you're out of there.
Yep.
Yep. He doesn't get
And
paid
making
enough
for
for
the
this shit.
stairs.
You don't get paid enough for this shit.
Cornelius,
Yeah.
you see Zarzul coming towards you with a big book. And
Ah,
then
we
you
have
hear
it.
a lot of yelling and a lot of flailing.
Let us go. This is a silly place.
Malgern, inspiration.
Yes.
For acting fully in character, you now have one.
Oh, so just click the little dragon thingy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Oh, do you already have a dragon?
No, I just wanted to make sure I was clicking the right thing. I clicked
Okay.
inspiration and a little dragon appeared.
And for, I think, a minute or so, you've still got a d6 you can add to something.
Sweet.
I'd like to point out, I'm still kicking and screaming. Go, I need to get rid of him. That's my job.
Yep. Oh, now she remembers your job.
If I'm tall enough, I try to reach up and put my hand over her mouth. That's enough.
Well, if he tries that, that means I'm going to try to bite his finger.
Oh, before that, as you're dragging her out, that's going to be a wisdom save from Rain.
Oh hell!
As the whispers grow louder.
Oh, I'm so sad I had to work so late. 'cause this is the
Fortunately, I'm
greatest
really good
session
at
ever.
that.
Yeah, you managed to maintain calm. But you three are about this point now, as you're dragging her kicking and screaming. So it's going to be an acrobatics roll at disadvantage for Rain, and advantage for Malgurm because he's getting Pio's assistance, or
Oh,
Castali's
yeah,
assistance.
I'm not doing very good at all here.
Your feet come off the floor.
Fucking
Which is
wrecked.
impressive because it's a dwarf.
I'm literally just kind of
Yeah.
one-handed holding
He's-
her flat above my head.
Yeah, he's basically got you trapped by the thighs and just hoisted you up off the ground. The kicking is done.
Like, she might even be dragging on the floor because I'm not tall enough to keep her up all the way. So I'm
Cornelius,
just
you
letting
see
her drag.
what you expected to see, to be honest.
You knew what this was.
I see she expected exactly as maturely as we expected her to.
Yeah.
She's going to hit it.
I agree, so let's leave. Someone please hold my hand.
You might as well take Rain's hand.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Wolfgang offers a tail.
No, he just sits up, like, shake. He sits up with the shake motion.
Little do you know that Wolfgang is actually a kobold in disguise.
These two kobolds in a wolf suit.
Yeah.
Zezul and Zuzul. The stairway is a little less menacing now that you have something to focus on. As you all try to keep Rain under control. Do you at any point settle down?
No, I'm not settling down.
Even the ghosts are kind of going like, what the fuck?
Well, that's the thing. As you're getting up there, Zarzul, you don't see any of them.
Strange. Never mind.
And you do pass
Onward.
by those points where the walls have just been completely excavated and clawed open. You look down them, you don't see anything. But you do hear a slowly growing breathing, which is mostly muffled by Rain going, "Yeah! I gotta do this! Get off me, shrimp!"
Excellent. All according to plan.
And it takes a few minutes more before you reach the top. And you're back in the inn. Siegfried, Droop has decided to sit with you. But the three
Well, see, failed my constitution. I'm pretty mad.
Oof, you're roboting hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, might happen.
That's a shame.
I would save, so it should.
Yeah, until it stabilizes, though, we'll get back to the others. You all emerge in the inn once again. Dignity has long since gone. But you have the book.
Excellent. On the way out, I'm very likely to set fire to this place.
I mean, I wouldn't stop you.
I'm looking at Rain and wondering whether Malgern's prejudice is right on the mark, and elves are just silly people.
I'm so happy that someone finally agrees with me after all this time.
Yes, as you notice the holy cleric being carried away by a literal devil, you're thinking, yes, it's the cleric that's the problem.
Clearly, she.
Also,
Right,
Rain, your ear is red raw.
I'm assuming Siegfried has basically picked the bar clean by now.
I mean, you got... Him and Malgern already scooped up the biggest supply that there was, and have been carrying them on their fucking packs this whole time. He's just probably had a few bottles. But I mean, there's not a lot left. It's pretty overgrown.
I'm going to grab one of the better bottles of what probably was ale, and it's just a small bottle, and take that with me. I think I'm going to need it shortly. Let us be off. And on the way out, I set fire to the building.
How?
I am kicking and screaming more.
Well, I've got two options. I can either shove something large in the fireplace to that burn it down, and then use Druidcraft to set something else on fire.
The
I can help
kobold...
you with some. I can help you set something on fire from a distance as well.
So you're all gonna burn this place to the ground. Except for one.
Yeah.
Who was kicking and screaming over it, yes.
Drew...
You keep kicking and screaming, I might start doing things, non-lethally.
What do you roll to
heal
perform an
that,
unlethal
healer.
pile drive?
Our heroes!
Hey, nobody ever called me a hero.
Through the combined efforts of the ranger and the wizard, the inn is lit up. Droop quickly exits the building.
Damn.
But as it starts to go up, you notice the fire is not spreading. There are some withered little twigs that are getting caught up on it, but the greater branches just seem to be smoldering and then remaining in place. But the inn is going up. All of it will be left soon, will be the stone walls around the first floor.
At that point, now I stop struggling because there's no point in doing anything now.
I'm still keeping a very close eye on her. I probably still have a, vice grip on her. I'm not.
Well, let's see. Acrobatics with disadvantage against athletics with advantage.
Okay.
You've still got her.
Yeah.
I mean, the bright side, Rain, you didn't have to walk out.
Yeah, she got dragged out because again,
Yeah.
she's probably
The
taller
dwarf
than me.
and the tiefling both have her under full control.
Yep.
Well, physically. Mentally, she's fucking batshit.
But I knew it all along. I fucking knew it.
Let go.
I don't even dignify that with a response.
You.
I'm not even acknowledging her existence.
I think it would perhaps be better at this point if you for once asked someone to do something instead of telling them to do something.
Fuck, that's rich coming from Cornelius.
Zazzle was climbing into the wagon, sits down and thinks, fucking elves, and opens the bowl of ale.
I think I might have made a new friend here. He finally understands the way of the world.
Can I at least go get a fucking drink?
Drinks
That
are
is
for
the
good
most
people.
sensible thing.
In a smug. I just tell you, drinks are for good people in a smug ass look.
I'll
Then
tell
you
you.
must not be allowed to
I'll
drink.
tell you. I'll tell you.
All
Tell me
right,
this.
all right. That no. I'm gonna take the tosser. I'm hitting the elf non-lethally.
No, no.
Oh.
Hang on, we'll let Cornelius get his word in first.
Yeah.
I'll tell you this. You tell us the truth and the whole truth about your involvement with that man down there, and I'll prepare you the finest liquor I have on me.
Very well.
All right. I back off. That seems fair.
If anybody had asked for the full thing before then let me actually do what I was supposed to do in the first place.
Still holding her.
Anyway,
I'm still holding her.
We did ask, and then you proceeded to pussy around.
Listen to the
I don't
tiefling.
necessarily like it in the whole need, Freddy. But no, it's pretty much the situation that, because if you remember, Cornelius started running off and that whole, I got sidetracked. But to make a long story short, it's half of what you said on the tin. He did go into stuff that he shouldn't have been. And obviously there was a bit of an issue, but basically it started out with him and he was looking into it. He got me to help get the books that he needed to review things. Obviously I wasn't very much help because I didn't do magic. All I was a librarian. So we did that, and of course, eventually there was more work that needed to be done than just he could do. So that's when we got in the second person.
And
Well,
then
not
he
only
got
that, but-
impatient.
Yeah. But basically, we got the second person to help with his work and keep my parents off our backs while we were doing all that. And then he came up with something, said, hey, I think I've got something. And apparently he said he went and did some tests and that he wasn't getting anything that should be problematic. And that's when he suggested that our friend should be the next human test subject. And needless to say, that didn't go very well. And by didn't go very well, he turned into a bloody zombie.
Yeah, the process he was trying to do, Rain, for your knowledge, basically he was binding the soul eternally to the body.
Oh, that's
Instead of it
lovely.
being a separate thing that can move on and transfer, he was locking it in that form. And while the assistant was a corpse, he did not get to go to the afterlife.
Yeah. So to make a long story short, his response to doing, oh crap, we just turned our friend into an absolute bloody zombie, was instead of doing the sensible thing, he proceeded to turn and run the hell away. While I'm standing there going, well, fuck, this door doesn't necessarily lock on the outside. So now we're going to have some undead zombie running around in the entire bloody school. So I had to stay there and keep the door shut, screaming my bloody head off until somebody came by to actually deal with the problem.
This sounds a lot more than just I was someone who was helping out.
Well, I mean, I was invested in the idea, and I found the entire thing relatively intriguing. Not to mention I was the only one that had some of the language skills that were important for text bits, so I did a lot of translation work too. But I mean, I was interested in the idea, I just didn't quite get what he was doing necessarily, because the whole idea was that we weren't trying to do the lich thing, we weren't trying to do the undead thing. We were just trying to, make death not happen. Needless to say, after that whole thing, my studies did not continue. And that's how I kind of went over to Kellenvor in the first place, and that's also why I'm not particularly pleased I didn't get to beat him over the head.
Then why didn't you suggest we take him out when we were there first time?
Because I wanted to go get the keys for the book, see what he was working on, and then we could see from there. I don't know, I prefer to beat him if he was not completely weird. I prefer to tell him off first. I don't think it could have told him off very well, because I don't think he was understanding very much.
As she finishes explaining her attachment, just imagine now the row of faces from the party as they digest this information.
I still think she's full of shit. She's not telling us the whole story.
Fucking elves.
Exactly.
Alright, and if you want to be particularly pedantic about the whole damn thing, there was a little bit of a romantic involvement. Which is the other reason why I stuck around so long.
Alright, now
Well,
we need every
now,
detail
had
on
you
that.
said that first, the rest would make more sense.
I still
don't
think she's
like thinking
downplaying
of
something.
that because he turned him into a zombie.
I mean, it was worse than that. A zombie just falls down eventually, but everything of his kept moving until it was incinerated.
Yeah, and that was particularly traumatic. So when your boyfriend turns your friend into a rotting thing that wants to eat your brains out, it's not particularly pleasant. You try to ignore that. Particularly as now I'm running around with some bloody scales and trying to bury dead people, which, by the way, I never had anything to do with dead people until I rolled up into this, but, you can kind of see why I decided to do the cleric thing. Just a little bit.
We've all noticed she's just a little bit of a cleric.
And not a very good one at that.
Excuse me, I rescued your life several times.
Again, I'm not going to acknowledge that.
I walk over to Siegfried and steal the ring. In front of
What am I looking at?
No, not to you. It's kind of stepping up next to Siegfried and just kind of showing off to Rain with the ring. Speaking of saving lives.
With her spell.
This is rich.
Yeah, I was supposed to say that is my spell in there, if you recall.
Do you deflate a little bit,
Could have
Cornelius?
used the potion.
No, because I also like to point out that you had none at that moment.
That's why you have the ring in the first place.
Anyway,
Could have
I need the strongest drink we have.
potion.
that deal is up to you.
There was no problem.
You looking for a strong drink?
Yes.
Who needed the strongest drink? Was that
Let
Castalia?
let
My
us
hand is
get
up.
away from this. Let us get away from this place first. Make camp,
'Cause
and then we
I'm
can
just gonna
drink.
toss my flask at Castalia. Just give her the look like, yeah.
I grumble a bit because I want to drink, but I get into the wagon.
Oh, you're not getting a drink, sweetheart.
They finally bonded, and they've all become alcoholics.
Yeah, all it took was one of our party members to just turn on us, and the rest of us are like, yeah, we're all friends now, fuck the elf.
As you all saddle up, hopping into the wagon,
a puff
Castalia
off
getting
of-
up on her horse. It's very quiet as you slowly trundle back to the west to get back onto the main road. I assume that's where you're going, yeah? Instead of going deeper
Away
into the
from
forested
forest,
lands.
Yeah, get away from this shit.
And then onwards you head north, and you've got a few more hours of travel. It's very quiet. On the bright side, as you pull in, turn the corner, it's green trees again. It's
God.
multicolored foliage, it's health, it's vitality, there's even the brief little twitter of birds. And there's also all those tracks that are still in the dirt. The heavy cloven hooves of the aurochs. Because apparently it's aurochs with an S, even if they're singular. You bust out some of the booze. Anyone opening up any of the special booze that's been listed?
I'm gonna start smoking my pipe weed after a couple of good puffs past the pipe to Melgurn.
I will accept. I'm not normally a smoker, but I will accept.
He grabs it with his left hand as the right still holds on the rein.
Yes, yeah, exactly.
I follow on my promise to Rain, and Droop, would you kindly bring us about some cups?
Oh, yes. Hang on.
I'm keeping an eye on this.
The axe vanishes, and instead appears 2 very fine goblets. Although they have faces on them carved in, and they're a little low detail, is a way to put it. One of them is slightly cross-eyed. But they're also faintly glowing as he offers them up.
I imagine they just look like goblets with a kind of too low resolution.
Basically, it's like,
bump map.
imagine they're in HD, but these are in PS1 texture.
Yeah.
Very blocky.
The bump map isn't entirely correct.
Yeah. It's like an Unreal Engine before it loads in fully. And he just offers them up.
After I have a swig and Malgern's hand is free. Flask.
You kind of just toss it over to me. I just catch it without even looking. Put it back on my belt.
Sorry.
This is totally. I'm just in my element now.
And I just served one of the wine from one of the wine bottles I have in my belt.
Everybody else is getting more drunk, and I just seem to be more aware. Everything's peaked up.
As you reach in to pull a bottle out, it slides out perfectly fine. And so the mood continues to be a little bit sullen. Darkness falls gradually.
While we're traveling, can I identify some of the items?
You can, yeah.
The quill first.
The quill, from the looks of it, it seems to have everlasting ink.
Yes!
Ah, wonderful.
Of course the wizard's excited about something like everlasting. Where's my everlasting flask, man?
Also, with the command word presto, it will change color.
Ooh.
Unfortunately, it only goes between black, gray, and blue.
I mean, I'm debating saying this in character or not, but nerd.
I'm gonna. Can he check over the boots for me?
Sure.
Alright, the boots. They are attunement. And they allow you to go... Let's see now. I'm trying to remember how I worded this rule. Let me just look it up. Hooray for homebrew magic items.
Hooray! Those are
Anyone else doing anything while this is happening?
I'm getting drunk.
You're trying to.
I'm
No,
keeping
you're
an
not.
eye on the. I'm keeping an eye on the elf.
You got one goblet.
Then I'm going to go into the store that we've got backed up, and I'm going to get more.
I'm going to stop her.
I
You
don't
got
believe
your-
that's it.
You got your drink. I will stop her.
That's not how this works.
Alright.
It's in the store.
You don't get to decide how this works anymore.
I roll
Okay.
my eyes at him.
Siegfried is going.
Well, we'll never find out what he's doing.
Siegfried has become a robot. He's
I'm
placed
afraid you'll
his,
have to use text. Okay, for the boots. With up to 4 times a day, you can use a bonus action to enter the ethereal realm and walk forward up to your speed in a straight line. So you do a slow march. Any creature you walk through will take 1d8 necrotic damage, and you do not provoke attacks of opportunity. They are known as the funeral
Okay.
march.
Oh, that's such a good.
That's exciting.
Oh, okay. Sleep tight, Siegfried.
Yeah, Siegfried just bundles himself up as he sleeps between the the boxes he has not unlocked yet and the heavy chest full of gold.
Okay. The other thing is, can we get the identify on that bow I picked up?
Let me see now. Where did I put the bow stats? Deep dew. It is in Raxis Treasures. There we go. I really need to organize my notes better. It is called Distant Burial. It is a +1 short bow. It does not need arrows because it provides its own. Twice a day, you can fire in a high arc at a person, and let's see here. Yeah. It'll be your spellcasting DC, and it will make the enemy prone by loosening and softening the dirt at their feet. So you basically get them swallowed by the earth. You feel there might be more to it, but the spell's not telling you.
I'm trying to remember if the plain silver ring I picked up was magical or not.
Also has not tried to open the book, also still cannot see color. Correct. There's also the scroll tube you have not opened, there's also the jewelry box.
Holy shit, dude.
And there's also your heart. You haven't opened it up yet.
My heart is like permanently sealed shut.
Actually, that's a point. I'm gonna need a fresh con save from Siegfried. Okay, you still cannot see color, but nothing else happens. Also, it's still been one. This is still the day of his revival.
On this, the day of my daughter's wedding.
So yeah, I'll write up the features on this a little bit. I'm still working on the bow a little bit. It may also give a cantrip.
Okay. Does anyone want a pair of strength-enhancing gloves? I'm looking at Castalia and Cornelius at this.
Well, I mean, Rain could also use them. Anyone could. Siegfried as well.
No. Rain we want weak because in case.
You want her weak and hobbled, just enough to cast Cure Wounds.
I have a feeling we're going to be great friends, Arzul.
Quick, Malgern, bring out the hobbling post. We'll wheel her around.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah, Siegfried's full on his attuned items to keep him alive.
How many can you have? 3?
Just 3.
Yeah, so I'm full as well. You can take the hat from my cold dead hands.
Speaking of, as you continue to roll along, there's a puff of smoke.
No.
The rat is gone.
Bye, friend.
You don't know if
as well.
you don't know if he was created by the hat or teleported from somewhere else.
Maybe it's a Meeseeks box.
Maybe. Existence
Maybe
is indeed
it'll go
pain.
back
Just
to the
ask
hat.
Siegfried. As you slowly pull up on the side, you got the choice. You've got a little bit of a clearing, like a crescent shape, or you can delve a little bit into the forest.
How about no?
No, what?
How about someone else speaking?
Not in the forest. We've done enough forest.
You guys are choosing where you're going to sleep tonight. Let's
Yeah.
hear some input.
Is there a suitable campsite?
I was going to say, what
along
are our
the side of the road?
options?
Like I said, you've got a little semicircular cutout in the forest, so you got a nice little clearing you can sit on the side of a road. But again, you'll be on the side of a road, or you can just push into the forest a bit.
I suppose
I see.
dislike it since there's cavalry, since there's Orcish cavalry going up and down the road. We might actually want to be in the forest.
Yes, it's just into the forest slightly.
Just slightly.
Into the woods without delay.
It takes a lot of careful wiggling. Plus, you're trying not to rock the wagon too much to wake up Siegfried, which will be a wisdom save, incidentally. But it's easy enough to find a little place. You're about 5 minutes eventually before you find a round enough spot where you can just sort of ruck up properly. The horses are a little annoyed. There's a few scuff marks on the wagon, but, it'll buff out. Yeah, it's not a good time for Siegfried. It's a stairway that just does not end. And you just feel like there was always something watching you. something with its hand just hovering by your throat. It wasn't Gabe Newell. How do you set up camp? Do you have a blazing fire? Do you have tents out?
Well, before they start doing that, I ask people to kind of come around me. Yes, even Rain. And hopefully people are gathering around me.
Yeah.
Yes,
Absolutely.
Malgrim brings Siegfried out of the carriage like a baby.
Yes, come on, buddy. Come on, buddy. I'll get you another drink. It's gonna be okay. We've all been there, man. We've all been there.
And I begin
I
to
have
cast.
sympathy for this man.
I begin to cast a ritual, and as all around you, you start seeing a kind of a purple pinkish haze that starts building up into a square. And as it starts building up further and further, it starts getting more and more detailed. It starts looking like wooden logs that starts stacking up against each other. And before you know it, you are suddenly in a wooden cabin.
I kind of rub my eyes, making sure it's not the drinks. Like, have I
Nifty.
finally lost it? But I know it
Uh,
couldn't be. It couldn't. Not me.
From experience, the purple haze is probably the pipeweed, actually, not the drinks.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, that's right. I did smoke. So
there's
I
a
was
very
like, what was
there's a very sickly sweet smell coming from the kobold.
I question because I did take a couple puffs from his pipe, so I kind of think, is this pipe or?
It's more of it. You've got that little sort of weird echo in your ear for sounds, like we're a little distorted. You feel fuzzy. So do you, Sarzul, which is weird for you.
Is it an uncomfortable feeling? Neutral? Kind
It just feels like there's more of you to feel.
of. Okay, neutral. Yeah,
Yeah, it's kind of comfortable.
Comfortably numb.
Yes. All right, we're on the right page.
And you are now in a very fine-looking log cabin.
There.
So-
Now this is proper camping.
Some would say it's a tiny hut.
Now, Droop, if you would be so kind as start making a bit of a table and seating for when we get dinner running.
Oh, yes. I'll do it just like home. Yes. Your home, not mine. Mine's terrible. Yes. As he starts to dash about and creating... They're faintly glowing. Not bright. Not enough that it hurts the eyes or anything. Just a little faint glow. Various bits of very well-to-do furniture that actually looks out of place in this log cabin. Finery from the house of Scent. Various chairs, tables, a few seating areas, even one long love seat, and a chaise lounge.
There we go. Oh, I have missed this.
He also runs up to one of the widest walls and puts up a large portrait. It's of Cornelius, looking very regal with a wine glass in hand.
Perfect, Droop.
I think so. Colors might be off. Yeah, I think I did good.
You did excellently.
Fantastic. He is pleased as punch. And then he makes his own bed, which is this rotten-looking little cot. The horses are slightly confused as they look at this hut that is now here. They're not inside it, obviously.
Yeah.
Zazel's going to calm them down and make sure they're all set for food, and then check on the wagon and see if it's still growing.
He didn't really... Oh, oof.
What?
Siegfried's latest message.
Ooh.
That's bad. Let's see here. Well, I mean, we are pretty late. So I think we'll actually finish at this point. We'll get the night done, and then that'll do. So yeah, the horses are easily enough calmed. It takes little effort, takes little expertise. And you wish to tell them the benefits of this amazing thing you've conjured?
Yes. As long as you are in here, nothing from the outside shall hurt us. Only the one who were in here when I created it shall be allowed entry.
And there are a couple of windows you can look out of.
Hmm.
Which also
At least
means for the first time you guys won't really have to worry about watches.
Full night's sleep.
For some.
Well, some watches that someone will have to make sure that nothing happened to the horses and the wagon.
Oh, true.
But you won't have to do it outside.
Outside, like a peasant. So, let's have those watches. Who's staying up with who? Who's bedding with who? Let's get the dish.
Where is Rain?
Gone.
Well,
You
probably
just
not
didn't
the
pay
one
attention.
who are probably not the ones who are exhausted.
Yeah, I'm double exhausted.
Siegfried stirs from his nap. He'll say he'll take first watch. Also, Zarzul, from your cursory check, it looks like there's a patch of grayness on it, but it's only been a few hours. It doesn't seem like it's changed at all.
Okay. Can I just try and which area?
It's basically like the back left corner kind of thing.
Can I try and just burn it off, just to get rid of it?
I mean, it's the frame of the wagon.
Oh, dear.
If you burn
Okay.
through it, it might cause some structural issues like there not being a corner there anymore.
Ah, damn it! Oh well, I'm just going to make note of how big it is and to compare it to my...
Yeah, you could always borrow the quill and draw it. Give it an outline.
Here's a point.
Anyone staying up
Cornelius.
with Siegfried?
Yes.
I can't assure there'll be a whole lot of conversation.
Can I borrow that quill for a second?
Sure. What for?
I want to make an outline on something so we can check it later. I'm worried about the cart.
All right. Let
I
them
show-
do.
As you realize,
Yeah.
he's being a lot more mysterious than he really has to be.
I'm hoping our cart isn't infected.
Ah.
Yeah, Dutch Elm's a killer.
So yeah, I'll go
This
out.
would be nasty if our wagon was attack us on the road.
Yep. So I'm just going to do a quick outline around that and
Pretty accurate
yeah,
if you do say
get
so
general
yourself.
idea of what size.
You had to jump up on the Wolfgang's back in order to get the right vantage point, but easy enough.
I hand the quill back to Cornelius.
Yep.
Take off my gloves and get ready to attune to the bow, and I'll take second watch.
Incidentally, what's going on with that breastplate?
What do you mean?
Is anyone wearing it?
No.
I mean, I already have armors.
Alright, just making sure. It's the one thing that's not really been accounted for. Okay. So who is taking first watch with Siegfried, if anyone?
We have some exhausted people, so can we afford to double up? I don't think so.
Yeah,
I
it
don't
doesn't,
think we
it
gotta
doesn't change
double
that.
up.
Long rest is still a long rest. You can always do the 2 hours of watch.
I mean, has anyone volunteered? What watches do we have covered? First watch was Siegfried.
Second is Zarzul.
I can take third watch.
I can take fourth.
And the girls are just going to sleep through the whole thing.
Well, I don't trust Rain, so I'm not gonna let her take a watch alone.
Yeah, you just carry her out of your bed for whenever you're trying to take your watch.
As a matter of fact, no. Rain is on watch with me. I'm making this a point. Yes, I'm not asking.
Oh, for Pete's sake! How long have I been with y'all?
Do we? And besides, and we
Actually,
like,
it's only been about a week and a half.
yeah, yeah. Questions I have.
For some reason, it feels like 6 months, but
Well, wasn't it longer than a week and a half? 'Cause we had a couple of.
Yeah,
I feel like it's been more than a week and a half.
yeah, you're probably coming up. I mean, you're not far past a fortnight, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was keeping track of the dates for a while, kind of lost track of them on the minutia. But yeah, it's really not been that long.
Yeah, but we've been kind of living together, so that does make things a little bit.
Yeah, and you lived with him too.
That does tend to happen sometimes.
As if by accident.
I think that's new information from Algern.
Oh, for Pete's sake! How many times have I saved your bacon?
Again, not dignifying that with a response.
If I wanted to do something, it would have already happened, and if I wanted to do something, I wouldn't be wandering around with a giant Kellenvor symbol on my back, burying dead people.
I'm still not taking this because I'm hearing it from an elf, and I know elves can't be trusted.
Unless she was waiting for her perfect moment to strike.
Exactly. Yes, this man gets it. The voices in my head agree with me.
My opinion is I will go promptly back to bed once he wakes me up.
Well, we got first watch with Siegfried here.
Well, that's fine because you can just hold the watch inside the house.
Yep. It feels a bit weird to be doing a watch inside walls. There's plenty of places to sit. There's no wet grass to worry about, Siegfried, as you glance about. Let's see what he's going to say. Nothing outside to get you, just these closed walls. They're so close, in fact. Almost like a trap. It's like
does Siegfried like seeing somebody else have nightmares like he does?
Just remember, Siegfried, while you're looking at the windows, there's so many blind spots. It could even be on the roof. But as you're looking around, you don't see anything really stirring. Nothing up close, anyway. You do think further into the woods, there seems to be a campfire far in the distance, like pretty damn far. It's basically a speck of light.
He's just counting down now.
And so ends Siegfried's watch. Next up, Zarzul and Wolfgang, I guess. Give me your perceptions. You don't get advantage with Wolfgang this time because he's inside a building.
No, he could pull like a Flintstones and make Wolfgang sleep outside.
No, because it'll be just like it'll just be like the Flintstones.
Yeah, Wolfgang locks him outside.
Yep. I'm assuming Siegfried probably points out the campfire, because that's the only thing to really gesture at. Of course, Zarzul with the hood on, you see nothing. Wolfgang finds it a bit awkward. He has to keep on nuzzling over furniture in order to get at the windows and get a good look outside. Now and again, he's clawed at the door.
Looking out as I am.
Yeah. Now and again, he's clawed at the door to try and get outside.
I'll let him.
Alright. Hope you weren't attached to him. No, but he can come and go, it's fine.
He'll be back.
And it seems like nothing really differs. It's all fine. Third watch. I believe that's Malgern.
Yep, that's
Possibly with possibly with Rain, but she's trying to slow her louder.
I was gonna say, I don't think Rain's helping me, but
Yeah.
she's there. I
She
made
just
sure of
rolls
it.
over. Also, Castalia, you are woken for a moment.
Hmm?
It's been a while, but there is a small column of black smoke coming out from your pouch on your bedpost. Droop
All
actually
right.
gave you a nice 4-poster job.
Nice.
It's weird
Nice.
because it's
Set
a
up
4-poster,
and-
but it's a single-person narrow bed.
Well, then I obviously set up and light my pipe.
You've been somewhere you shouldn't have.
If you mean that hole in the ground, yes.
That wasn't your world. Didn't think there'd be much of a way to get to here. Not there. Do you remember your instructions?
I was to retrieve the gloves for you when I could.
No, not retrieval, simply borrow. To use in the forge.
Mm-hmm.
You have a strange scent to you right now. You met a few hounds.
Oh, yes. Yes, I do recall the fires.
They run in the wilds of my land, but I vaguely remember them with other apprentices before they went silent. You are an interesting apprentice, so I give warning. Don't quite want to lose you yet. Those hounds, they can always find what they have the scent of. Also, this piece of Hydra is very inspiring. May even be something for your stout friend with it. I'm still experimenting.
Mm.
Fuck you for breaking the scene, Siegfried. How dare you? I look forward to further unusual offerings.
Of course.
Do take care, apprentice. And the column slowly falls away to gray. Malgern, you see the campfire. It's far in the distance. It seems to have gotten a bit bigger. I mean, Zarzul told you it was just a little speck. But it's a bit bigger now. Doesn't seem to be anything else going around. And then, just as you're about ready to head to sleep, you feel a vibration that travels up the entire length of you.
Ooh.
There is a very heavy footfall. It actually reminds you of when the Hydra was stomping towards you all. It's not right outside, it's not any kind of short distance, but there is something moving, and it feels two-footed, maybe free? It's hard to tell. The gate isn't even. But there is something stomping out there.
Let's see. Alert something.
I'm
gonna wake up. Where's Zarzul?
He is
'Cause I don't
tumbled
want
out
to
of
disturb
bed.
Siegfried.
Yeah. Who are you waking up?
But with Zarzul, because I feel as much as he's a crappy ranger, he might be good at tracking.
Yeah, you look around the room and you see Wolfgang in Zarzul's bed and Zarzul on the floor.
I just think to myself, makes sense. I always knew the wolf was in charge. And I get Zarzul up off the floor. There's something outside. I don't know what, but could be a problem.
Zarzul, as you're waking up, you feel on the floor vibrations of big movement. Still distant, but it's uneven and it is large.
Do I get any idea of what it might be out there? By
I
the
mean,
sounds.
give me a
Probably
survival
not.
roll. Something very large, and it's not a hydra. You're fairly certain of that. You don't have enough knowledge really to know if it's a dragon or not. Chimera you didn't get close to, so it just seems like it's probably bigger than an ogre.
Oh, I'm gonna sneak out and see if I can see anything out there.
You can see 60 feet. So the
Take
best
your hood down.
doesn't matter. He's got 60 feet anyway.
Okay.
Dark vision.
Yeah.
All you can see is that. I mean, you do see the campfire, which is slightly larger now, but it's still a good distance away. It's not gotten any closer.
Okay.
And give me a. Let's see. Yeah, give me another perception check as you're trying to focus on the vibrations. There is the snapping and splintering of a tree. And what you can tell is it's in the southwest from where you are currently. It's distant. It's coming from deeper in the forest, basically.
Okay, does it sound like it's going to pass us by?
It's a single tree falling. You don't have any other reference point for direction.
Yeah.
But it still seems pretty distant, which is worrying because you can feel the vibrations of it moving.
Okay, I'll go back in and let Malgern know that whatever it is, it's big and further into the forest.
I mean, you got a general
Right.
direction at least. It's in the southwest.
But it looks like it's going to go far enough away from us.
It's not close to us at the moment.
All right. That's
And Cornelius
fine.
at least would have run down the fact that you're fine, you're impervious while you're in here, while it lasts.
Oh, okay. Then I don't concern myself with it.
Yeah.
And
The
I think
horses and
Zarzul-
cart are possibly fucked. And you could always drag the elf outside.
This is true. I feel like I have like an angel on one shoulder and a devil on the other shoulder, and they're both like orange bearded dwarves. One of them's telling me, "Yeah, just put her outside."
Yeah.
And the other one's like, "Yeah, I'm with him. Put her outside."
Yeah, they look identical. You can only tell the angel and devil apart from who has an emptier tankard.
But they're both giving me the same advice.
But yeah, nothing else really changes. It seems like it's just sort of milling around an area, and then the vibrations cease. It didn't seem like it was getting any closer, not to Zarzul's senses anyway.
That's fine.
And then we have the
Go
final
back up
watch.
to a ball on the floor.
Yep. You're not going to fight Wolfgang for the sheets?
No, I know who would win that.
I always
No,
know
Had that
who's in
fight
charge.
before.
Yeah, he loses now that he's taken off the gauntlets. And that just leaves Cornelius.
Yeah. I'm guessing Droop as well.
Yep.
Are you gonna take Rain with you? Sleep deprivation would do wonders.
No.
And I do mention this. I was like, you want to keep her out as he's switching over. I just motioned with the like "be my guest" symbol.
Droop does a few little puffs of prestidigitation to get rid of the scent of smoke around Castalia's bed. And I'm assuming that you inform him of all the various things you spotted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's an animal. It's not really close to us. Zarzul didn't seem.
Yeah.
It's
And as you look out to the campfire that they also noticed, you see nothing. It must have died at one point.
Yeah.
You don't feel any vibrations, not that you're very in tune to the natural world. Droop puts his ears to the ground as well. But there is this strange, very distant, wrenching scream. It is so faint it feels like it's an itch on the inner ear. None of the ones who are sleeping even pick up on it, not even Wolfgang. But you and Droop, I'm gonna need a wisdom save.
Oh god.
We should have
Lucky.
It's not the same as the whispers.
Fuck
Yeah.
20.
Yeah.
Oh, Droop.
You stand firm. Droop, however, trembles with fear. He doesn't know what it is, he doesn't know what caused it, but he just has this instinctive dread inside him. Kind of like Siegfried. But for Droop, it is just a momentary thing that slowly passes and his ears rise up again. You guys, he's going for it. Zarzul's going to try and get the bed back.
Actually, I was trying to modify my sheet so I don't have a
Ah,
huge
yes.
modifier.
We'll just go into the gear bit. But yeah, you looked down at your apprentice, Cornelius, and saw how he trembled and quivered, which, admittedly, not unusual for him.
You alright, Droop?
I don't think so.
Remember, you're safe in here.
Yeah, but something was really wrong out there.
It usually is.
Well, it can't get us in here, but it's gonna run out soon.
Yes,
So-
but at least it'll be day. It'll be daylight then. The rest will be awake.
Yeah.
And while it's busy killing them, we can just run away.
Maybe not her, as he points over at Castalia's bed.
Okay, maybe not her.
And, my best buddy there, as he points over at Malgern's bed.
Alright, and him as well.
I mean, we all, and, I've kind of gotten used to Siegfried.
And not him as well.
Okay.
So what you're saying is, if something came after all of them, we would help them, right?
Uh-huh.
Would be brave.
Yes.
That's my boy.
He is kind of stunned by that. But he slowly smiles. And you can see that his teeth are actually clean for once. And slowly the sun rises. A new day dawns. There's a moment of distress as the log cabin vanishes, and so does the furnishing. and a couple of you fall a few inches to the ground. and
Hopefully
realize
I didn't leave anything in the dresser.
a few adjustments will have to be made. As you also realize the sheets were also conjured. So you may be more familiar with each other now than you were before.
It's a bad time to mention Malgern sleeps naked.
Rain is very glad she sleeps with her clothes on.
No, I sleep with my... Be funny, though.
That's why I took the last shift.
Damn your insider knowledge.
And so, because we had to start so late, and because Siegfried has died, I knew I'd kill him eventually. We've got 2 hours in, we've had some fun, so we'll end the session for this week. Any problem with next week?
Negative.
54.
No, I should be good.
I'll just be on a lower audio quality because I'll be at my dad's place,
Ah, okay.
being home for Easter.
Webgun, you're still alright, yeah?
Yeah, I'm fine. Next weekend, it's Easter weekend. I get a lot of time off then.
Okay. And we'll assume Botch is fine, although possibly missing in action. So next week we'll be back with Rescue at Raxis. Who knows what the party shall do then? Will they go towards the obvious danger? Or will they continue
I'll
running
push
towards...
Rain in front.
Yes. Relationships have soured slightly in one direction.
But the rest of us are bonding.
Yeah, you all realize you
me
like
and
each other.
Zarzul are like best buds now.
Well, the alcohol lasts.
And
Or
this
until I
pipe
actually-
thing, I could get used to this, I thought it was weird at first. It's kind of growing on me.
It's nice to go into battle with your comrades by yourself. Knowing you can
Maybe
trust your
I'll
life with them.
Maybe I'll run into a nice elf and actually have to change my opinion, but at the moment I've only really got one to base my opinion on.
If he says this
I was
aloud, I'm just
very
shaking my
nice
head
to
going,
you.
no, they don't.
I was very nice to you.
They also lie a lot.